Hi, I'm Sue Merriman from Right at Home Realty and parkbench.com, a website designed to help promote local businesses in this wonderful community of Scugog Island in Port Perry. And today I'm delighted to be interviewing Eric from Redman's Antique Barn. How are you today, Eric?
I'm very well, thanks, Susan, and I'd like to welcome both you and Trevor to our fine barn inside here.
Well, this is an icon in the community, and I wonder if you could just tell us how it all came about.
Yeah, definitely. The entire property is owned by the Redman family, John Redman, and it's been in the family for, I'm going to guess, 150 years, well over 100 years.
Wow.
And John owns and runs the bakery down there. He also owns this building, and we rent it from him.
Okay.
And it's been going since at least 36 years, because John's mother actually used to sell items out of this particular facility.
Oh,
and then it has changed over the years to what it is today, which is a multi-vendor kind of location. And we owe it all to John and to his mother, who started it all off. Oh. And the way we work here is that there are 25 booths, and each vendor buys and sells their own stock.
Okay. So they come and go, different vendors, or are they pretty
no,
much
we
the
have a
same
pretty
vendors?
low turnover
Yeah.
rate. There's a waiting list, but you could pass away before you
Right.
you get
a
spot here. Yeah. So we all buy and sell our own stuff. There's no consignment.
Okay.
And we do like it when people pull into the driveway and say, "I've got some stuff in the trunk of my car. Would you like to have a look at it?"
Yeah.
And depending on the vendor of the day,
they might
you
take
go
it.
out. They might buy one or more items, or people will come in with photos as well.
Okay.
And sometimes they'll even invite us to come out and see their goodies at their own home. So that's at the discretion, of course, to the vendor of the day.
Sure.
So no consignment, but we're quite happy when people do come in and offer their items for sale.
Okay.
So,
and what sort of items do you have here?
I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour here. Well, there are what we would call antiques, older pieces. There's also some Canadiana and some nostalgia, and essentially anything that really is popular and sells these days.
These are nice. Like, so you have a collection of
with the
lanterns?
phones. We actually have a lady who comes in here, and she now has over 285 phones. And every time she comes in and buys one, she has to sneak it into the garage to get it into the house past her husband.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that's
And
really
it's
an
funny.
oldie. Wow.
You got vinyl albums here, and all of the younger people and older people are downstreaming their music onto the
we've just started doing that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet we sell vinyl like crazy, and it's the younger people now, believe it or not, who've got a turntable. This is what they want.
Because it's new to them.
So they come in and then they buy vinyl records.
Wow.
So it's something that's odd. You can never really tell when people walk through the door what they're looking for. This is very typical in terms of its offering right here, and there's a lot in the aisles.
So this would be one person's area.
That'll be one
Sorry,
person's
let me get
area.
over here.
And then this one is popular because of the kids' books.
And here, all the kids' books?
And the other items that are here. This particular vendor has just a whole different menagerie of items for sale, and I've had people who have spent just under 2 hours walking around in here with all of the different items that we have.
Fantastic.
And it just crosses the years. You can never tell what's really popular. Everything has a cycle. This fellow sells some furniture and some odds and ends, as you can see.
Buffet china cabinets.
Yeah. And this license plates are another big one these days, and you can see those bins full of license plates. People come in and they like to try and find something, usually with their birthday on it.
That's coming.
Their
the colors are
birthday
coming
year.
back now. The blue and white.
Well, if you were born in 1965, then chances are pretty good you'll take a long, hard look at
That's
it.
right.
This fellow does some furniture refinishing as well, and signs. The tin signs are really popular. And you'll see them in 2 or 3 of the booths, the Quaker State and whatnot. And so are the old boxes as well.
Okay.
There's a Dewar's Scotch there, and quite a variety of the brown boxes. This is a this particular area has got a little bit of everything. Cups and saucers are, but you never know what people. Well, you never know what people are going to do with them. Eh?
Yeah.
Lady came in one day, and what she wanted was she wanted to mix them all. So you have a different cup with a different saucer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know some people put little plants in them now too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
People are really creative.
Yeah.
Up here, of course, this is our flying-in area. If you're coming in from up north, you can park your plane up there. A lot of different items in here. Again, horseshoes are popular. More license plates. A little bit of the old style 50s and 60s. They're back in popularity these days.
Sure.
Now this particular fellow actually runs one of the shows here in Port Perry annually. He's been in the business a long time.
There's an actual show, like an antique show?
Yeah,
somewhere?
an antique show here.
Oh.
In town they use the recreation area.
Oh, okay, up on Reach Street.
And he's got a lot of good summer stuff. There's a canoe here, toboggan. And hockey stuff is really popular. You can see the goaltender pads up there. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Of course, it changes with the season. Now you'll get more into cottage gardening supplies and whatnot, as opposed to summer gifts. Well, but we're good for gifts for everyone as well.
Yeah.
I like to think that in this area back here, if somebody walks through the doors and says, "Have you got any drawer pulls?" And I say, well, yes, there's a booth at the front, and there's this one back here.
So you
so
pretty well know.
Well, you don't
well,
not
go exactly, but you can direct people generally.
Well, in the summertime particularly, we've got 750 items going out every month. So you get another 800 coming in. So you walk through the door and the layout's the same.
Yeah.
But the inventory changes all of the time. There's a lot of horse stuff back here too.
Oh, and games.
Yeah.
I see some games there.
Now this will take you back to when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Another table, and you've got the Pyrex and whatnot over here.
Wow, my goodness, that's great.
We try and use as much available space as we can. Obviously, and people spend a long time looking. They want to buy a gift or they collect something. It's great for collectors.
Poker chip, old poker chips.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lockbox back there. We keep a lot of items.
Valuables.
You will see. Lock boxes, because sometimes they have a way of growing legs and
I'm sure you get really busy here sometimes. Like, how do you?
Especially on the weekends, we're just swamped, and we always have a couple of vendors working on Saturdays.
Not
and Sundays.
just you.
Yeah, no. Because if you got a lot of people, what we try and do. One of them has to wrap. But what we try and do is say hello to everyone when they come in the door. Yeah. That's really important. If they haven't been here before, we explain, and we explain to them that it really is an old barn.
Yeah.
The floors aren't just beautiful.
Yeah, no, you have to watch your step a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, and that we're there to help them if they need some pricing or they are looking for something specifically. I always like to nail them on the way out as well, especially if they're empty-handed. Were you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah. Right.
Come back. Yeah. I always figure that even if people don't buy something, as long as they can leave and say, "Hey, we went to this place in Port Perry."
Yes.
On the way to the island up there, you ought to go in. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's neat.
All right,
neat stuff.
So maybe you didn't buy anything, but maybe you got a family member or your neighbor, and just say, "Hey, we had fun," because we talk to people all the time. We'll walk the aisle, and you doing okay? That kind of thing. It always works, and we do get positive comments. Lots of them as well.
I bet you do. Wow, this is great.
So lanterns are popular these days, here and there, and these figurines, everything has a cycle. These are coming back a little bit more.
Oh, are they the figurines now?
Yeah. Now this is our Coca-Cola expert, this fellow right here. Amongst all of the other goodies he has, he really is an expert with Coca-Cola and the products. So people come in and they can find an item that they might be missing from their collection. Looks like somebody sold something on the weekend out of that spot.
So Eric, have you always lived in Port Perry?
I've been here for 42 years.
Okay.
But not doing this. But
no.
This barn board is another good seller these days. People are quite artistic, you know. You never know what they're going to make out of barn board.
I've heard they make the headboards for beds.
Well, I'll show you what's a headboard. But they'll actually make something. Some people will put a whole wall of barn board.
Yes, I've seen that
downstairs
too.
in the basement.
Yeah.
These tin cans are popular as well. It's such a wide variety. Owls, people love owls, and the glass that you can stained glass, whatnot. A lot of good stuff in here. Again, a variety. Lots of animals. People like animals, especially for their cottage and whatnot.
Love
yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
And copper and brass.
I'm seeing all sorts of things here. I'm going to have to come back and have a second look at for sure.
Now here's another couple of these arborite tables.
Oh my goodness.
You can see one right there.
Yeah.
With the
inlay.
With the inlay, and there's another one back there.
Goodness.
This has got some agate rock in it, and skeleton keys are very popular.
Right.
More barn board. And I know what I wanted to mention to you. Back here with this door. I'll say, well, what are you going to do with the door?
Right.
Well, the most popular thing is a headboard for the bed.
Oh, yes, I was going to say a coffee table. But
well, yeah, well, people do.
Yeah.
I love creative people because they all of a sudden, well, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
And then they tell you. It's like,
I never would have thought of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And talk to. Canes are popular too. There's a good selection of canes there. Now, people have lobster traps. But not many people have a snow crab trap with its Florida licensing tags on it and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something for everybody. Huh?
Well, you hope that way, yeah. These are popular, the window frames, because what people do there is they'll take that and they'll put their 8x10 family photos. What I like about the clear glass is you can turn it around, so you can have your mother on one side and your mother-in-law on the other, depending which one's coming for dinner.
Flip it around. That's fantastic.
Yeah. There's some good Canadiana here. I mean, this harvest table, 6-foot harvest table with a drawer on either side. So I want you to understand there's lots of good antiques. So is that cabinet at the back.
Good condition.
Yeah. Now the one with the lamp on it at the back, that's something you can make out of barn board. That in fact is a barn board. Yeah, and it's beautifully finished.
Oh, goodness.
Odds and ends, hockey stuff again. Lots of
bells.
pictures. Oh yeah, bells. Tractor seats is another.
Oh, goodness.
Now this is where you come for your jewelry. Okay, the costume jewelry.
Yeah.
But the other thing, and again, there's good copper here. These folks have a lot of artwork down here. They're very good with the art.
Oh yeah.
And again, there's a good collection. Some people come in and buy beer stuff. You know, the guys for their man cave, as it were.
Right. Right.
And here we've got this old canoe that you can put down in your basement or wherever your
Solid
dining
mahogany.
room. And fill it up. This variety of different items in here. And if you look around, but I want to take you around to see this cabinet around this is made with the log ends and whatnot. And you've probably seen a couple of pieces outside as well. That and the items outside, believe it or not, came from the old Montana's restaurant in Whitby when they redid it. Okay? So there's antiques and not so much
Not
antiques.
so antique. But
And he keeps his treasures in here, and he's got a lot of really good stuff in here. Again, quite a variety.
Tin panels.
Now this wall here, I covered in art. This is our wall that is up for the winter, and then we'll take that down as soon as it turns warm enough, and that wall slides back and forward.
So it's like a fake wall.
Well, it's not a fake
wall.
wall.
It's a real wall.
We have to dismantle that whole thing.
Oh,
but
you do?
in the summer, you see, in the good weather months, we slide it across, and that's our air conditioning system. And every vendor gets to put 2 items outside daily. So when you're the working vendor, you come a little bit early because you have a lot of items to decorate the outside with. And then bring them in the evening. But it's great because people can walk through this huge expanse that they can come in. and it works well. In the winter months, the colder months, when we have to have the furnace on, the vendor of the day usually puts out 2 or 3 items.
Right.
Like those are my items that I put because I'm the vendor of the day. What's neat about that is that if you look at the etching on that stone, you can actually see a great blue heron. Now, how good is that? We have a great blue heron at our cottage, but we have the casino at the end of the road as well.
Right.
And we do benefit from the casino.
Yeah,
You know,
people coming up to go to the casino.
Yep, we to go to the casino or get their gas or whatever.
Right.
And I like it when they come back and they've won. Okay, then they can stop in.
Spend a bit of money on what they saw.
Of course. So
that's
that's now over here. Just talking about something totally different. This vendor has the distributor rights for this area to a line of paint called Country Chic, and it's extremely popular. It's a very good selling paint.
I have heard of that. Yes.
Okay. Sometimes customers come in here and they're looking for something specific, and we don't have it. However, because of the changeover, that product comes and goes. So what we do is we have a customer's wants book that I want to show you, and that customer, if he or she chooses, can put down the name, a contact point, what it is that they want. Yeah, exactly. And we do have vendors who look at this book religiously. So people just sign up and say, look, I need this, and we like to try and take care of them that way.
And maybe your vendors can try to source it for them, or if they
exactly.
if they think, I saw something like that.
Of course. Well, they want to make a sale, but people feel a little bit happier when at least they've got somebody out there who's looking for it. Yeah.
That's a great service that you provide.
Well, it seems to work well.
Yeah.
We have 2 outside events annually, Spring Fling and there's a Fall Classic. And the Spring Fling is coming up, and we do that to honor her. Hi.
Okay.
So what we have then is we have our barn, but then we get outside vendors, about 15, and they park, and they pay a small fee. And so we have a whole pile of people right down the driveway here, and some of the vendors actually go out and they'll sell their stuff off the back of their car or truck as well. And this vendor here has, her husband is in a group called Dual Exhaust, and they play out here. So we got music. We've got coffee and whatnot, and of course there's the
Marcel's kitchen.
there's the Marcel's where you can go down and get your baked stuff, and there's also a shop down on the other side for your French fries and hamburgers and whatnot. That takes place on the 25th of May. It's a Saturday. If the weather's great, it's magnificent. Runs from 8 in the morning. And actually, if you're around, drop by.
Oh, well, for sure
You'll have fun. Because you may find something, as people often say, well, this is all the stuff I grew up with. They come in and they're totally mesmerized.
It takes you back in time, your memories, like those kitchen tables. It takes you back to a nice time, a comfortable time.
That's the right word, a comfortable time.
A comfortable time.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram, so people find us that way. Facebook has been a really good thing for us.
For us as well.
Hopefully your site will
increase
our popularity as well.
Will.
One of the vendors takes care of that, and I'm very grateful because I couldn't do it, but she can.
No, we like to support communities, and as you do, and this is important for us to help all the businesses in this area do well. If you guys do well, it helps us do well.
Of course.
So we believe in shopping local, as I'm sure you do.
It's
important,
absolutely.
Right?
Of course
support each other.
And
well, that's great.
We take cash and we take debit and credit cards, not Amex. So you can
anything but Amex.
Anything but Amex.
Okay.
And we're very happy. It's a very happy moment to make a sale and take somebody's money, as you can imagine. Pretty much in honor of Mrs. Red. That's how it started, and she did it for years. Now this has been, just to complete your history lesson here, this has been the way it is for almost 30 years. It's grown in the last 15 to 20 years into what it is today. And vendors have come and gone, but we don't have a big turnover at all.
Have you found that there's times when antiques get very popular, then they wane a little bit, and then they get popular again, or is it?
Not antiques, but certain products, like Royal Doulton.
Yes.
okay, was down. You couldn't get anything for a Royal Doulton figurine. Now it's on its back way. It's going back up to the high end. So you find that there's an evolution, and things do go in cycles as well. That being a very good example.
That's really
of
interesting.
that.
Okay, well, Eric, thank you so much for the history lesson and for showing us all the fantastic products here. And I'm sure anybody coming in would find something for every occasion.
Well, it's been my pleasure to be able to do this for you. I hope it is successful for you and for us.
I hope so too.
Hopefully, the people who watch the video will in fact take their time out. If
Well,
they're visiting Port Perry, going to the casino. Come on in, and you will at least find it to be a very friendly place.
Yes.
And there's no pressure on buying, and you might just actually find something rather than going away empty-handed. We walk the aisles, and if somebody's got something in their hand, I'll say, can I take that to the front for you?
Right.
And oh yes, thank you very much. You're so kind. Well, I'm not being kind at all. I'm not being a nice guy. I wanted to take it up so you can refill.
That's good customer service.
Yeah, exactly.
Good business. Good
exactly.
business.
Well, I want to thank you very much. I've enjoyed this. Hopefully, you've learned something.
We have, absolutely.
And you can come back as customers and your
sure.
friends
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
Decorate your new place.
I encourage everybody to come and for more information about Redman's Antique Barn, just look below or come to Park Bench Port Perry, and you'll find more information there as well. Or visit us on Facebook at All About Port Perry. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for great interviews with our local business owners. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Susan.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Trevor. Yeah.
Bye.
Excellent.